Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Elise. I'm Elise and I'm really happy to see you on the other side of the screen. I am at the wonderful Brussels Yoga Loft where I'm about to give class to an actual group of people, but I thought I would share with you a quite soothing and gentle practice, really good for shoulder opening and hips opening. So you can start by coming to your easy pose, Sukhasana, and you can first cross the right leg and then the left leg. Try to see if you can flex the feet and uncross the ankles so they're parallel to one another, and don't worry if that doesn't sound like anything that you want or can do, doesn't really matter. Now roll the shoulders out, nice opening of the chest, arms are heavy on your laps, you can have the palm facing up for to feel a bit more uplifted, or palm facing down for more grounding. And you can softly close the eyes. And as you close the eyes, you drop the attention inward. You can start by noticing the breath. Notice where you can feel your breath. Is it in the chest, in the belly, in the nostrils? And notice how it feels to be breathing right now. Notice where your thoughts go. Notice any strong emotion, nagging feeling, nagging thoughts. And with every exhale, you can release whatever you don't need. With every exhale, you can release tension or stress, anything that doesn't belong on the mat. And now you can start to deepen the breath. Inhaling to the count of 4. And exhaling to the count of 4. Count to 4 as you inhale. And 4 as you exhale. Do it one more time, inhaling to the count of 4. Exhaling to the count of 4. And try to keep that rhythm, a steady rhythm of the breath. You can bring your hands in prayer in front of the heart. Then rub the hands together, create some energy. And then place your hands on your face. Make sure you don't smash the eyes. Feel the energy you've created. And then bring the eyes in your hands. Open the fingers and release. Alright. Good. Let's start with a bit of a upper body stretch. Bring the fingertips on each side of your hips and dig the fingertips on the floor. Now lift up the chest, but make sure the shoulders stay down. You gaze straight ahead. As you inhale, lift the arms above the head, palms touch. And as you exhale, bring the fingertips back to the floor. Again, inhale, lift the palms up to the ceiling, palms touch right above the head, drop the shoulders, and exhale, release. One more. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. Palms touch. Stay here. And now bring the hands to the heart with the elbows lifted. You see my elbows, they're still a little bit lifted. Now press the hands against one another so you should feel your pecs activating. Now inhale, lift the arms above the head. Exhale, open the arms halfway so the arms stay parallel to the floor. Palms facing up. Now bring the hands on the knees on top of your shoulders. Now as you inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, bump the chest up. And as you exhale, you round the upper back a little bit and you bring your elbows to touch. Inhale to open, you can squeeze the shoulder blades. Now lift the gaze up, maybe find a little bit like a cat-cow movement. And as you exhale, you gently round the upper back, you tuck the tailbone and you bring the elbows together. One more time. Inhale to open, maybe arch your lower back, look up, open the chest. And as you exhale, you gently round the upper back and you bring the elbows to touch. Inhale back to center. Good. Now shoulder socket rotation. Inhale, lift the elbows. As you exhale, elbows touch in front of the chest. Drop the elbows towards the back. Inhale, lift, circle the shoulders. Exhale, elbows touch. Release them down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbows touch. Down and back to center. And we reverse the motion. Inhale. Exhale, drop the elbows. They touch in front of the chest. You bring them up as you inhale. Exhale, shoulder blade squeeze. Elbows down. They touch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One last time. Inhale, lift. And as you exhale, bring the arms parallel to the floor again. Open the arms. I know it's starting to burn a little bit in the shoulders. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. Now exhale, bring the hands right behind you. Interlace fingers, press the knuckles onto the floor, squeeze shoulder blades, look up, lift the chin. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, you fall forward. Crown of the head towards the floor, arms up and over the head, or maybe not. Then slowly use the core, inhale to rise. Ooh, and exhale, release. Good, find a bit of a wiggle here. All right, so now bring the hands right in front of you and start to walk the hands forward. Chest open, so we don't want to be here. You want to keep the chest nicely open, hands about shoulder distance apart. And you gaze towards your fingertips. Now you can go as far forward as you want to. It depends a bit on your flexibility. Don't worry about how far your finger goes. Doesn't really matter what way you're targeting here. Is a nice opening in your left hip, so you can gently press the left knee towards the floor, and in the lower back. You can gaze towards the floor, so you keep a long neck. As you inhale, you can feel the upper back opening and expanding. Now move the hands and the torso towards your left knee and your left thigh. Now make sure you don't lift the right shoulder, drop the right shoulder. If you want a bit of a deeper stretch, you bring the right hand on top of the left, and you keep gazing towards the floor so you don't wrinkle the neck. Shoulders are leveled, and as you breathe, you can feel the whole of the right side opening. Take one more full cycle of breath. Now move the hands back to center and the torso, obviously. And now bring the hands back towards you. Good. Now switch the crossing of the legs. Bring the left foot first, right then. Make sure you're sitting on both sit bones, and we do the same. Hands forward. You can go as far as you can, as far as you want to. Now make sure you kind of actively press the right knee towards the floor. Level up the shoulders and you gaze towards the floor again. Take one more full cycle of breath before we move. And then move arms and torso to the right, so you are on top of your right thigh. Now make sure you haven't lift the left shoulder. And if you want a bit of a deeper stretch, left hand on top of the right. And you keep gazing to the floor. And as you breathe in, you feel the whole of the left side expanding. One more cycle. And now move the hands back to center and torso. And then move back towards you. Very good. All right, and from here you can, whoops, unless your knee is stuck. Good, you can come onto all fours. And let's take 3 very gentle cat-cow movements. So spread the fingers, bring your wrist underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, flatten the top of the feet, find your neutral position. Now as you inhale, the belly drops, the tailbone lifts, open the chest, send the gaze up. As you exhale, you round the upper back, you tuck the tailbone, you press onto the hands, you tuck the chin, and you release the crown of the head towards the floor, and you gaze towards the back of the mat. Now with your inhale, move back into cow. Lower back arch, belly drop, tailbone lifts, look up. And with your exhale, you find cat position again. Shoulder blades stretching away from each other. Find a bit of core. Last time, inhale, move into your cow. And exhale into your cat. And back to neutral. Very nice. Now extend the right leg onto the floor with the toes on the toes tucked, and then move the right foot behind the left. Now kick the left foot outside of the mat. Come on the big side toe of the right foot. Press onto the left hand, and as you inhale, find your modified side plank. Nice stretch again on the whole of the right side. Now make sure the shoulders are stacked, but you drop the right shoulder back into the socket. Your right fingertips are active towards the ceiling. And now from here you can extend the right arm over the right ear with the palm facing down and finding length. Finding a long line of energy from the right fingertips towards the right hip. Deep breath. Imagine you are leaning against a glass door or something, or glass wall. Take a big breath here. And as you exhale, slowly move back into your O4 position. Oh, it feels good. Doesn't it feel good? Now extend the left leg on the floor and back. Now move the left foot behind the right. Kick the right foot outside of the mat. Come on the big side toe of the left foot. Press onto the right hand, and as you inhale, you lift the left arm up. Stack the shoulders and make sure you bring the left shoulder back into the socket. Now extend the left arm above the ear with the palm facing down and elongate. Find length on the whole of the left side. Long line of energy between the left fingertips and the back heel. Find a bit of core work here. Inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lower down into your tabletop position again. Good, very nice. Now you can tuck all 10 toes, come sit on your heels, and now stand on your knees. You want to have the knees right above the hips right above the knees. So shoulders, hips, and knees. Did I say that wrong? Maybe I think it's alright. Good. Now if you have yoga blocks, you can bring the yoga blocks on each side of the mat. If you don't, maybe you can use both. Good. Now arms alongside the body, lean onto the left knee so you can release the right foot forward. Now make sure the toes are pointing straight ahead. You can keep the left foot tucked, or you can release. It depends a bit on your balance. And if you need a bit of padding for your knee, don't hesitate to bend the mat and set your left knee onto the mat. Whoopsie daisy. Now arms alongside the body and start to move the hips forward and low. Find yourself into a low lunge. Now if you want to use your blocks, you can set the hands onto the blocks, onto the books for a bit of support. You can bring them at any height you want. Or maybe you can just set the fingertips onto the block, or maybe reaching for the floor. Now make sure the right knee is right above the right ankle. The chest is nicely open, and you should feel a good stretch in the front of the left thigh and the right hip. Deep breath. Now bring the right hand onto the right knee. As you inhale, lift the left arm up. And slowly start to lean back, opening the left shoulder, opening the chest to the ceiling, finding yourself in a back bend here. You go as deep as comfortable. Take one more breath. And then inhale. And as you exhale, lower down the left hand onto the floor and right hand onto the floor. From here we're moving to a half split, so don't hesitate again to use the blocks. Now as you inhale, look forward. As you exhale, move the hips back, straighten the front leg, the right leg, toes towards the ceiling. Now here, you can be straight here onto the blocks, using them to lift up the floor, to elevate the floor. Or you can be on your fingertips. And for now, we stay here with a long spine, parallel to the floor. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, maybe you want to lower down over the right leg, sending the forehead towards the shin. And if it's too intense, you can stay in your halfway up. Deep breath. Now if you are down on the leg, inhale halfway. And then move back to center. Move the hands towards the front of the mat. Tuck the toes. Lift the knee. Look forward as you inhale. And as you exhale, find a downward dog. First downward dog, so feel free to pedal at the knees. Pedal at the feet, so bend one knee after the other. Maybe move the hips from one side to the other. Any movement that feels good. Remember that if you feel that the upper back is rounding and arching, you can always keep your heels lifted and bending the knees as you find stillness. You gaze towards the back of the mat. Now inhale here. Exhale, set the knees onto the floor. Come and sit on your heels. And now sit on your knees again. And we do that little sequence on the left side. So shift the weight onto the right knee and move the left foot forward. Now make sure you make a little bit of a padding for the right knee if necessary. Keep the toes tucked or flatten the top of the toes, of the foot. Inhale, and as you exhale, sink the hips low and forward. Enjoy the stretch onto your right thigh, the top of the right thigh. Now if you need support, you can always bring your hands onto the blocks for support. It's really nice to use props. It really helps you to elevate the floor or elongate the arms. And use the breath to go a little deeper. Use the breath to soften. Now bring the left hand onto the left knee, and as you inhale, you can lift the right arm up. And as you exhale, you can find a gentle back bend if that makes you feel good. If you don't like it, come back one step forward. Right shoulder is nicely open, chest is open. You look up. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, set the right hand onto the floor, and then left hand here. Good, let's move into a half split. Inhale to look forward, and as you exhale, straighten the left leg, toes pointing up. Now again, don't hesitate to use the block to elevate the floor, keeping a long spine. Now invite the left hip back and the right hip forward. Now you can stay here, or you can come all the way down onto the left leg as you inhale. And as you exhale, move onto the left leg, shin to the forehead to shin, knee to nose. Shoulders are nicely relaxed. Now as you inhale, lift. Everyone shifts forward. Hands forward, tuck the toes of the back foot. Inhale, lift the knee, elongate, and then find the downward dog again. Notice the difference between this one and the first one. Press the floor away from you with both hands. Lift the hips up and back. Don't hesitate to lift the heels, bend the knees so you don't round the spine. Now look forward towards your hands. Make a big step with the right foot and then the left foot. Feet are about hips distance apart. Bend the knees, grab opposite elbows and find ragdoll pose. Release the head. Maybe sway from side to side. Make sure the weight is more towards the toes. And now release the elbows, come back to center. And again, don't hesitate to use your props. You can set one of your blocks in front of the right foot. Bring the right hand onto the floor or onto the block. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg a lot. No, sorry, bend the right knee and straighten the left leg. Bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. And as you inhale, you open to the left, finding a twist. You can gaze down, you can gaze up, activate the fingers, stack the shoulders, bring a smile onto the face, find a nice twist here, stretching the hip. One more inhale here. Exhale, swap it out. Bring the left hand in front of the left foot on the block or not. Bend the left knee, straighten out the right leg, and as you inhale, you twist open to the right. Nice stretch onto the right hip. Back of the right leg, and a twist. Inhale. Exhale, release. Bend both knees a lot, tuck the chin, and as you inhale, press onto the feet. Rise up, unrolling the spine slowly, vertebra by vertebra. And then let the arms travel up above the head. Take an inhale, hands touch above the head, and exhale to the heart, and release. Good. Let's take half sense salutation to keep on creating space and opening up. Bring your big toes to touch. You can separate the heels, engage the legs, lift the kneecaps, tilt the pelvis forward, and tailbone is lengthening down. Roll the shoulders out, palms facing forward, fingertips slightly open. Feel your feet down, deeply rooting down the earth, and the crown of the head reaching higher for the sky. Now bring the hands to the heart. As you inhale, let the arms above the head, look up maybe. Exhale, fall forward, hinging from the hips. Release the head towards the floor, forehead towards the shins. Now you want to have the hands next to the feet, so don't hesitate to bend the knees if you need to. It's still early on in the practice. Release the shoulders, bring the weight towards the toes. Belly button up and in. Now as you inhale, find your halfway up. You can either keep the fingertips to the floor or set the hands underneath the knees. Stretching the spine long, looking towards the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, release into your forward fold. Bend the knees, spread the arms up, circle them up to the ceiling. Take a deep inhale, look up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do this 2 more, but a little faster. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fall forward. Release the head, gaze towards the knees. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale into your halfway up. Exhale, release and forward. Bend the knees, spread your arms like wings. Inhale to the top, look up to the heart. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. Exhale into your forward fold. Release the head, forehead to shins. Inhale in your halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale to release in your forward fold. Bend the knees, press on the feet, rise up as you inhale. And exhale to the heart. Keep the hands to the heart. We're moving back up and then we move on. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. Exhale into your forward fold. Hands to the floor, release the head. Bring the weight towards the toes, gaze towards the front of the mat. And as you inhale, step the right foot back. Good. Now from here, let's find our lizard pose. So bring the left hand inside of the left foot and move the left foot to the side. Now from here, you see, you shouldn't be able to see my left arm. The heel of my left hand is right inside of the left heel, and my arm is against my left leg, shoulder to knee. Now you can set the knee into the floor if you need to, or you can keep your knee lifted. Press onto the hands, tuck underneath the shoulders. You can move back and forth if that makes you feel good. You can also lift the inner arch of the left foot, move the knee a little bit to the side to have a deeper opening of the hip. Find your edge. And now wherever you are, maybe you want to bring the forearms to the floor for the full expression of lizard, but you don't have to. You find your edge. Take one more breath. Then if you are on the floor, bring the hands back up. Bring the knee back to center, and now everyone set the right knee to the floor. Now ground the right hand onto the floor. As you inhale, lift the left arm up for an easy twist. Now bend the right knee, point the toes to the ceiling. Now you can stay here if that's enough, or you can circle the left arm back, grab the right foot, and gently bring the heel towards the glute. And you gaze back so you have a twist at the same time. You open up the left shoulder. If this is not enough, you can come onto the forearm and you find a deeper twist and a deeper stretch of your hip. And breathe into it. One more breath. Now slowly release the foot. Lift the arm up. Now come back with the hands to the front of the mat. Tuck the toes of the back foot, lift the knee, and from here let's move into a yogic squat. You can do that into a few steps if you need to. So you look forward as you inhale, and as you exhale, you bring the right foot next to the right hand. You sink the hips low. Now sometimes we need to be on the toes, so you can stay onto the toes, or you can bring your blocks underneath the heels. That's also an option to elevate. Hands to the heart, press the knee away, open up the chest, look forward. Take one more breath. Now set the hands to the floor, press onto the hands, straighten the legs, keep the head low. Heel to the feet until the hips distance apart. Now grab the big toe with the 3 first fingers. As you inhale, lift into your halfway up. As you exhale, open the elbows to the side, release the crown of the head to the floor. And breathe. Keep the knees bent if you need to. Belly is engaged. Contact between the rib cage and the belly. One more breath. Now inhale into your halfway up. Release the toes, bring the hands to the hips, press onto the feet, inhale, rise all the way to the top. And release the arms. Let's move that to the left side. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms above the head. Exhale into your forward fold. As you inhale, bring the left foot back. Now move the right foot to the side, bring the right hand inside of the right foot. Same thing, bring the knee to the floor if you need to. That's one thing you can start by doing. You can make a little bit of a padding. Then make sure that the right arm is against the right calf muscle, elbow to shoulder. You can move back and forth, even with the knee onto the floor. If you want a deeper stretch, you can open the right knee to the side by lifting the inner arch of the foot. And then if you want to, you can lower down the elbows to the floor, or maybe set them onto a block. Find a few breaths here. And you gaze towards the floor. You don't want to gaze forward because then you can, it can be damageful for the neck. Now if you want the forearms, come back onto the hands. Set the left knee to the floor, everyone. Now bend the left knee and lift the toes to the ceiling. That can be your edge. You can stay here and practice this. Or you can lift the right arm up to the ceiling and you can grab the left foot. Bring the heel towards the glute and lift the elbows to the floor, to the ceiling, and you can twist. If that's not enough, you set the left forearm onto the floor, grabbing the right foot, and you can go a little deeper. Take 2 more breaths. Now slowly release the left foot. Bring the hands back to center. Everyone lift the left knee. And let's move back into a Malasana. So inhale, look forward. Exhale, little hop. Find your yogi squat at the front of the mat. Remember, you can set the heels onto a block, or you can roll the mat, or you can stay onto the toes. Move the knees to the side, open up the chest, look forward. Deep breath. One more. Now set the hands to the floor, straighten out the legs. Inhale into your halfway up. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, press onto the feet. Inhale, rise all the way to the top. And as we exhale, we reverse the motion. We spread the arms all the way down, releasing the forehead towards the shins. Inhale, halfway up, elongate. Bend the knees, set the hands to the floor, find your high plank. We're not staying. Bring the knees to the floor, or you can lower down all the way onto the belly at once. Flatten the top of the feet, bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. Squeeze the elbows to the rib cage. Press the big toenails into the earth. And as you inhale, peel the chest off the floor. And you find a cobra. So maybe you find a high cobra, maybe you find a baby cobra. It doesn't really matter. As long as the shoulders are down, the chest is open, and the glutes are soft, I'm happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. Take one more inhale. And exhale, lower down, heart and forehead to the floor. Now bring the hands back, interlace the hands on top of the bum, forehead to the floor still. Lift the arms above the back. Now as you inhale, peel the chest. Now keep gazing towards the floor. Now you can stay with the top of the feet onto the floor, or you can lift the legs off the floor, but that is optional. So here is a little bit more work for the muscles of the lower back. One more breath in. Exhale, soften the heart to the floor, release the hands, turn the head to one side. Wiggle the hips side to side, finding a bit of a bounce, releasing the lower back. Then move the hands back onto the shoulders, zip the legs, press onto the hands, transition on your knees, and then find a child's pose at the back of the mat. Bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers on top of the bum, forehead to the floor. As you inhale, lift the arms above the head and find this variation of a child's pose. Now you can use a strap if the shoulders are a little bit tight, and if they're not, you can maybe keep the heels of the hands together. One more breath. Now lower down the arms into the lower back, and as you inhale, lift the chest and exhale to release. Good. Now bring the bum onto the floor, swing the legs forward and move back towards your mat if you were down. Good. If you were back, I mean. Straighten the arms, tuck the chin, and slowly roll onto the back, vertebra by vertebra. And once you're there, you can squeeze your knees into the chest. And you can roll on the side, side to side. Good. Now keep your knees to the chest, but make sure the lower back is onto the floor. Arms extend, arms alongside the body, palms down, and now lift the legs up to the ceiling. You can flex and point the feet a few times. And we just stay here for maybe a minute or so with the legs hanging up. It should be really effortless. Your knees are stacked above the hips. You can keep a soft bend in the knees if you need to, but make sure that the knees stay above the hips. Find your breath. Notice the sensations in the legs. Notice a little bit of a shake. Maybe your legs are hot, maybe they're warm, maybe they're cold. Take 3 more breaths. One more. And then bend the knees, set your feet onto the floor. Keep your knees together, keep your feet together. Now interlace the fingers and bring the hands behind the head as if you were at the beach. Now move the hips a little bit to the right and drop the knees to the left, so you're on the whole of the left side. And you can send the gaze to the right and you find a twist. One more full abdominal breath. And then move back to center. Move the bum back to center, realign. And now move the hips to the left, knees to the right, and send your gaze to the opposite side. Deep breath. You can close the eyes. Now move back to center. Release the arms, bring the knees to the chest and find your happy baby pose. Open the knees, you can grab your big toes, you can grab the inner arches of the feet, the ankles maybe. Keep the lower back onto the floor and nicely and gently bring the knees towards the floor. If you want to find a bit of movement, you can roll on one side and then on the other side. Maybe you want to open the legs, maybe one after the other. Find anything that feels good in this last position before Savasana. And now bring the knees back to center. Release the big toes or the ankles. Bring your feet to the floor. Extend the right leg to the right, left leg to the right. Spread the arms around the body with the palm facing up. And settle in this last position, the corpse pose, Savasana. Make sure that the head, the neck, the spine and the tailbone are aligned. Release your feet. Release your legs, your hips. Release the glutes. The lower back, the middle back and the upper back. Release the belly, the chest. The arms and the hands are soft and heavy onto the floor. Your shoulders are melting into the earth. Your face is soft and relaxed. Allow yourself to dissolve into this moment, into this gift of relaxation. Let go of any thoughts, any to-do lists. There is nowhere to be and nothing to do but be here in Savasana. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And you can stay for as long as you want in Savasana, or before I fall asleep, you can start to wiggle fingers and toes. Find movements in your ankles and in your wrists. Any stretch that make you feel good to awaken the body again. Gently bring the knees towards your chest. And from here you can roll to the side, finding a fetal position just for a couple of breaths. And then with the support of the hands, you can come back to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed, the energy within, finding a gentle lift in the heart. Place your hands in prayer. I hope you take a moment to honor yourself for making it on your mat today, to take care of your body, your mind, and your soul. And to close this practice, we'll chant together the peace mantra Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You can exhale all the air. Now inhale to chant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May there be peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and in your hearts. Namaste. Thank you everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this gentle practice. Don't hesitate to leave me a comment or to send me a message if you have any requests. I am organizing a yoga retreat the first weekend of August, 6, 7, 8 of August, in a wonderful place in the countryside where food is good, the air is pure, and when it's time for yourself, meditation, yoga, mindfulness. Anyway, if you want more info, check the link below. And I will see you next time on your mat. Until then, take care of yourself and I send you much love. Bye.